welcome to What's That Wednesday? I'm Chelsea, and this week we are going to be making a frog toilet paper catching toy. Okay, so for this craft, you're going to need two different pieces of paper. One needs to be white, and the other can be any color that you want it to be. It doesn't matter, you can choose whatever color. You're going to need some paper towel or some protective cover over the surface of your table. I chose paper towel because that's what I have, but you can also use newspaper. You can have a cloth going over the table, plastic cloth, all that stuff, but mine's just paper towel, and I just cut out and I just have a square, so it's just gonna go there for protection. You're gonna need some staples or any kind of fastener. You're gonna need Scotch tape. If you have some, you're going to have some googly eyes. If you don't have any, that's okay. We're gonna make some out of the white paper as well. You're gonna need some scissors, some string, of course, a paintbrush. You're gonna need a toilet paper tube. You're going to need two different colors of paint. You're probably, the one you need the most is gonna be the red one. So you definitely need a red color. However, the colors don't matter. You can pick whatever colors you want. I picked purple for my paint and my paper because they go together, because they're both purple, but yours doesn't have to match if you don't want them to. And I just placed them already in two little cups. So I'm ready to go. I already have enough of what I need, so I won't use too much. You're gonna need a Sharpie or a black marker. And then you're going to need a red, a blue, and a green marker. So a pencil and some white glue. So to start off our craft, we're gonna take our toilet paper tube and we're gonna squish one side of it. So squish one side. You don't want this side to be squished, so one side's still gonna be open. The other side is gonna be squished. And you're gonna take your stapler and you're gonna put two staples on either side so it closes up. So now that we have stapled our toilet paper tube, we can actually just straight off begin to paint. So you're gonna take your outside color, so the color you want your frog to be. I picked purple. You're gonna paint the outside of your toilet paper, the entire outside. So I like to stick my hand into the toilet paper tube like this. You don't wanna stretch it out too much, or your toilet paper tube is gonna go flat all the way around. We don't want that, we still want it to be round. So I'm just gently holding it like this so I can paint all the way around at the very beginning. So let's paint. Okay, so now that our entire toilet paper tube is now coated in our paint, I'm going to set it upright to let it dry. So you want to make sure it doesn't lie on its belly. You want to make sure it's standing upright so that way the paint actually dries. Now during this time, if you only have one paintbrush, you're going to want to go and wash it. This will allow some more drying time for your toilet paper tube, and you can move your paint off to this side. So I'm gonna move my toilet paper tube off to this side for right now. And then I'm gonna go wash my hands, because now I'm covered in purple, and wash my paintbrush. So now that my paintbrush is clean, we're going to move on to making the next part of our craft. So while this is drying, while our frog body is drying, we're gonna make the thing that frogs eat. So what it's gonna catch in its mouth. And frogs eat flies, so we need to make a fly. So we're gonna take our white piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half gonna go to the side where it doesn't open. So we're gonna go right in that crease. So if you're on this side and you can do this, that's the wrong side. Go to this side. We're gonna take our pencil, and you're going to need something heavy to be able to hold the fly down, so when you're gonna go throw and catch the fly, it'll actually fly and drop. So I have 2 paper clips here. You can use anything other than paper clips. So if you have pins, if you have anything that's like a paper clip that's kind of weighed the same, so a magnet, a marble, anything that you want, you're just gonna have to accommodate to the size with your fly for the thing that you're using. So I'm gonna take my paper clip, I'm actually gonna flip this over and I'm gonna work from the bottom. So you take your paper clip, and the head is going to be connected to that corner, to that crease. So if it opens like this, wrong side, you want the head of your fly to be connected like this. And you're just gonna draw a nice little semicircle around your fly. Then you're gonna draw a little bit of a body, so you're gonna create one wing and then the other wing. And you wanna make sure that what you're using is still gonna fit inside of your fly. So you wanna make sure the paper clip is gonna be able to fit inside. If it sticks out a little bit, that's okay. But I'm not okay with it, so I'm just gonna quick. There we go. Okay, so now that I have the body of my fly done, I'm just gonna connect the head to the body. So I'm gonna draw a line there, and then I'm gonna make sure that the wings are visible. So this is what your fly should look like, making sure that the head is at the crease. If you need to go back and redo it, that's okay. You have a lot of space. So if you need to redo it, that's okay. The next thing that we're gonna do is I want my fly to stand out. So I'm gonna take my black marker and I'm just gonna outline it. Outline my fly. So you're just gonna draw over the pencil lines that you already made. Perfect. Now you're gonna do all of this step on the other side as well, but the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut out our fly, following the shape, making sure you don't disconnect the 2 sides, because we need 2 sides of the fly. Now that I've cut out my fly, I have 1/2 of him and I have a blank side of him. I'm just gonna take my pencil and I'm just gonna redraw the other half of him. So everything that I drew on the other side, he's just gonna look the same. And then I'm just going to outline him like I did on the other side in my Sharpie. Perfect. So now I have both sides of my fly ready to go, but he doesn't look quite like a fly just yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color him. I'm gonna take my red marker and I'm going to add 2 dots to him because he needs some eyes. I'm gonna add that to both sides. Next, I'm gonna take my blue and my green marker, and I'm gonna start with my blue, and I'm just gonna add little dashes, like I'm coloring him in, but you wanna leave some white in it, so that way your green can also come in. So it's gonna look a little bit like this. So I didn't color the blue all the way. And I'm just gonna do that to both sides. Perfect, so now that our fly is done, we're gonna get our Scotch tape and our 2 paper clips or whatever you're using to weigh down your fly, and I'm just going to tape them together. So I decided to use 2 paper clips because 1 paper clip is heavy, but I wanted it to be a little bit more heavy. So I'm just taping them together so that way they don't run away from each other and they're a little bit heavier together. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my string and I'm gonna unravel it, and I'm gonna say, I want it to be pretty long. Before you cut it, you're just gonna tie one end of your string to your bobby pins or your paper clips or really anything, the one that you're using to weigh the fly down. You're just gonna tie it on. You're gonna add a couple knots to make sure that it doesn't fly away. Get it? Fly away. Now once that's tied down, you can cut the leftover string on one side because you won't need it anymore. And then the length of the string from the fly to the frog is entirely dependent on you. I want mine to be pretty long because some of it's gonna have to go inside of our toilet paper tube. So I'm gonna do it pretty long. So I'm gonna do about here. So mine's gonna be very long. And so now my paper clips are hanging. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put my paper clips inside of my fly. And I'm just going to tape the sides closed. So we need to make sure that our frog has curvy arms, And we need to have some toes. And then we need just to add the rest of the arm back. You wanna leave the base a little bit thicker. So it's a little bit thicker right here because that's where our frog's gonna connect to. Now, we need to make the legs. The legs are a little bit more at an angle, so they go boop, boop. So we need to kind of curve it and then curve it in and then add our toes. And then you want to make sure that he has a nice thick little thigh. It's okay if it's not perfect. Can never be perfect. And then when you're done that, you're just gonna cut him out. Okay, everybody, now that our craft is done, we have our frog and we have our fly. They're both connected, so what we can do is we can try and catch it. So sometimes it may take a lot of practice, but with all the practice, you might get it. Have a great Wednesday. Bye.